I should have added a vomit warning to the title. The widespread use of gelatin dates back to the Middle Ages. During the Islamic Golden Age, it was not uncommon for people to eat fish head aspic. There was also quite a lot of jellied meat broth in much of medieval Europe. However, during the early modern period, the poor would oftentimes boil cartilage to salvage any protein they could, out of what remained from cheaper cuts of meat. Keep in mind that eating meat was in many ways a luxury to begin with. However, there would be other uses of gelatin that weren't quite as, let's just say, unappetizing. To the southeast and the Ottoman Empire laid the precursor to what are now known as Turkish delights. These delights used gelatin along with nutty, fruity, and sweet flavors rather than savory flavors. The association with Jell-O and savory dishes did not help its reputation in the West, but by the time of the Industrial Revolution, processing gelatin en masse was made much easier, as well as artificial flavorings, namely fruit flavorings. The jelly bean was in part inspired by Turkish delights due to their squishy texture and fruit flavors. The most iconic base gelatin dish, if you could call them that, is Jell-O, founded in 1897. The brand has been around for over a century and a quarter, even though it's currently owned by Kraft Food Brands, the mega corporation. At the time, American dessert preferences and candy were moving away from floral flavors to fruity ones. With lower transportation costs and eventually refrigeration, people wanted flavors like strawberry, orange, lemon, along with some sugar. These products were made out of cool colors as well, which made them more appetizing. Jell-O became one of the most iconic brands of post-war America. Some see it as a great icon of America at its peak, summed up in its jelly goodness. Others see it as a hallmark of outdated, hyper-processed food of the post-war era, alongside Spam, cornflakes, and Twinkies. Today, it tends to be considered a dessert for children and the elderly, and I guess Bill Cosby advertising their pudding didn't help either. I wonder if he put Quaaludes in it. Anyway, in the modern day, in a more pluralistic society, gelatin manufacturers in the West have made considerations for Jewish and later Muslim populations which refuse to consume some gelatin from pigs.